On today's episode, we leave the history-rich city of New Orleans and head to someplace even older, Mobile, Alabama. Along the way, we stop to enjoy our first beach of the trip. Then we head to Historic Blakeley State Park, east of Mobile, a little-known site that preserves an early 19th century town site, a Civil War fort, and a major battlefield, and a wetland teeming with life.
Did you guys see any alligators?
Shannon continues to wrestle with her fear of alligators,
I am nervous about the fact that there's alligators around.
while I bask in the glow of being a history nerd in two old forts, one of which has been standing for over 350 years. This fort played a role in the American Revolution, but no Americans fought here.
How come? Tell the audience at home.
I like suspense.
Oh, okay. To be continued, I guess.
Yeah, to be continued. Here in Waveland, Mississippi. That's where everybody waves to each other. It's the friendliest town in Mississippi. Because everybody waves. Anyway, on the road. Going to the beach. What do you think, Shan? You want to dip your feet in the water?
Sure.
Wow.
White sands.
Look at the beach.
Baby, this is so freaking cool.
Oh, yeah.
We would take up this whole parking lot, but we could just stop.
We would. We could stop right here. I should have done that. Hey, what do you think?
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
All right. This is cool. Alright, so we just decided to stop when we saw the beach and pulled over the rig and everything. And we're going to get out and just look at things, I guess. I might fly my drone, so you'll see some drone footage next, if I did. And if I didn't, you won't see any drone footage next. But instead, just video of us, I guess. So we're here at Pass Christian. Just saw the Gulf of Mexico. Just, yeah, we gotta take advantage. This is pretty awesome. Okay, the sun is setting on us. We're at Blakeley Historic State Park. I'm probably going to call it Blakeley State Historic Park a few times, but that's on me because it's not the name of it. We just pulled into our site. It's not paved. It's not really gravel. It's kind of more just dirt, but we're going to do some leveling and get ourselves set up for the next three nights, 2 days to explore Mobile and southern Alabama. So, hey, all right. Welcome to Blakeley Historic State Park.
It's actually Historic Blakeley State Park.
Told you I'd do that.
Historic Blakeley.
Oh, did I get it wrong both times?
Yeah, historic. That's what it says here. It says, "Welcome to Historic Blakeley State Park."
Welcome to Historic Blakeley State Park.
Good job.
First time. Historic Blakeley State Park took us by surprise, dwarfed in popularity by nearby Mayer State Park, which has a waterfront view of Mobile Bay,
Blakeley preserves the remnants of a 19th century boomtown, a city that hoped to rival Mobile, but was deserted within 30 years of its founding.
One of the things I love about history is exploring places that Shannon or myself have never heard of before. And this is definitely one of those. I had no idea about Blakeley, Alabama. No idea that it was a town that it was built, and at least it was founded in 1814. They built most of it by the end of the 18 teens in hopes of rivaling Mobile and maybe overtaking Mobile as being the biggest city on the port here of Mobile Bay. Well, they built it on the Tensaw River, and it's a lot of marshland around here, and I imagine the mosquitoes that come with that marshland must have just decimated the people in this town.
This town used to have 2,000 people in it.
Yeah, this town had 2,000 people in it.
And they built steamboats.
Yeah, they did. Tell me more. What have you learned about this place, Shannon?
It used to be pretty big. It was the county seat. It was pretty big. It has a deeper anchorage than Mobile, so it, for a time, was thought to be better than Mobile and maybe would surpass Mobile, but yellow fever, I think, is what ended it, essentially. It got a bad reputation for being a place of illness and sickness, and it never recovered from the plague.
So it had a very short shelf life as a community. So they have built these structures just made out of just lumber to represent the footprint of houses and buildings here at the state park. It's not much. I mean, there's no walls, just pillars, beams. And this is the old Blakeley Cemetery behind me. There's a few headstones kind of scattered here and there, a memorial to soldiers.
This one is an old headstone. This one's really interesting in that it's kind of askew. Like, these are all on a line, but then this is pulled out. I don't know if it has been vandalized. No, it's sunk in the ground.
So it's just sunk down like that. So we're talking 1839 to 1948. That doesn't seem right. But maybe it is. Check that out. This is somebody,
At
Mary
rest.
M. Foster, born May 5th, 1839, died June 6th, 1948.
She was 10 years away from being 100? 90?
She was 109 years
No,
old.
she was 100 and I'm so bad at math.
You're terrible. When you said she was only 10 years away from 100?
I know, I was like, she was like 90? That's kind of impressive. No, she was over 100.
109 years old. So if you think about the history that Mary M. Foster saw, if she was 109 years old, like her headstone says, just think about what she saw. 1839, Texas was still a republic. The U.S. was, I don't know, what, 20 states? Something like that, 25 states. Mary M. Foster lived through the Mexican-American War, the Civil War, the Western Frontier Wars, the Spanish-American War, World War I, and World War II.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah, this lady saw some things.
I know, I want to Google her.
Find out, Mary M. Foster. Unreal.
Babe, we're camping here, but this place is for sure haunted.
Oh, yeah. Thanks a lot, Shannon. She knows I don't like haunted things and places. She's like, can you imagine all the ghosts out there tonight? I think I hear one. And I'm like, oh, come on.
John doesn't usually like to go out to cemeteries. I'm a little surprised he's walking out here with me. Let's look at the sign. Have we done that yet?
It's the things I do for love.
He's usually, I love old cemeteries. I'll be like, John, pull over, there's an old cemetery. And I'll jump out and look at the graves or take pictures or whatever. I just think they're fascinating to picture people's lives back then.
Oh no, that's fascinating. Picturing their lives back then is fun. Going through history is fun. But entering a place where people are buried, no, that's not my thing. Sorry.
The park also preserves Fort Blakeley, an earthen fort that was the last line of Confederate defense east of Mobile. A fort that was under siege at the very moment of the Confederate surrender at Appomattox Courthouse, hundreds of miles away. That made it the last major battle of the Civil War. You can actually step up inside the fort. There's a gun placement for a cannon. There's a couple more in this particular section of the fort. It's a partial star fort, which is very popular in the first half of the 19th century. And then they switched to different types of forts as the guns got bigger and the military strategy got better. I can't imagine being up here and having, you know, bullets whizzing over your head and flying at you, and then the ear-deafening sound of the cannons that are just exploding. And then, of course, cannonballs from the other side that are hitting your defenses, going over your head and hitting your crewmates here. And just the massive violence of a fort like this and of a battle like they used to have during the Civil War. This war needed to be fought because of slavery and the evils therein in the system. Slavery needed to end. People needed to be free. But it's incredibly sad and somber to me that so many people died. Young men died. Civilians died. In the midst of this war, this 4-year-old war. The fact that this was the spot, the last major engagement of the war, is sobering. It's really sobering. So where are we heading today, Shani?
Dauphin Island.
An island of dolphins?
There's no dolphins. It's Dauphin.
And that's not how dolphin is spelled?
It is not. But there might be dolphins. I mean, who am I to say? Oh, what a beautiful day. We've had the best weather.
This has been awesome. Yeah, we have.
Man, we've had the best weather.
On our way to Dauphin Island, Alabama, is a barrier island, very popular. There's an old fort there called Fort Gaines, which I'm looking forward to visiting. And all right, it's gonna take about an hour to get there. Shannon stepped behind the wheel to drive us to Dauphin Island, a barrier island that is one of the most popular tourist destinations for visitors to Mobile. Shannon wants to see the beach. I want to see an old pre-Civil War fort that once guarded the entrance to Mobile Bay. But first we must make it over the daunting Dauphin Island Bridge, which is a long bridge over an ocean sound. All right, baby. You intimidated yet?
No.
No? All right, big bridge. I am.
Are you?
Oh yeah, I got issues.
What's your issue?
Water.
Should I be worried?
No, it's just my personal problems. I gotta work through it. We're at Fort Gaines on Dauphin Island, Alabama. We're exploring, looking around the history of this fort. It was started, construction was started in 1821, completed in 1848. See it behind me, it's really a wonderful preservation and restoration of a long before the Civil War fort. What do you think, Anna?
It's cool. Yeah.
The thing about these forts is you have such cavernous rooms underneath the actual bastions, the actual earthworks. And it's just so interesting how it's cool in here because of the bricks and because it's shaded. But I imagine it's hot in the summer. But there's a lot of places to hide in forts like this, these masonry forts.
Bakery.
This section housed a 12-foot oven, a smaller oven, and storerooms. And no, I didn't just read that off the brochure.
You're so knowledgeable about Civil War forts.
Yes, I know I am knowledgeable about Civil War forts.
Good job. I'm actually the most interested in these parts because they're not the parts about the guns and the killing, so...
Yeah, I agree.
I'm more curious about getting to the beach than I am to an inward lake that has alligators. I'm a little nervous about the alligators.
You mean like even birds? I mean alligators, but there's also birds like blue herons and stuff.
Yeah, I want to see those, but I am nervous about the fact that there's alligators.
Oh. So you think because mosquitoes think you taste good, that an alligator obviously would be like, this is my best day ever.
That's the worry.
Okay.
I'm scared.
So Shannon is scared. I mean, she's just scared of this. Now, Shannon, stay on the boardwalk.
Don't worry, I will. Okay, so here's a new need.
Okay.
I need a beach day on this trip.
Okay.
And so I would let go of other places and seeing other things to make a beach day happen.
Okay.
Like a swimsuit, out on the beach all day, read a book day. Okay, so on this part of the trip, more than any other, Stormy has loved this front window. Hey, sweet girl. How's my storm? I think she's asleep. Maybe it's because we're kind of in the trees here. She feels a little bit more protected. But this front window has like been her whole world these last few days. She's got a pretty good setup. She really does.
Later.
Yeah, I wanted to show our campsite though and where we're at.
Okay.
Because I haven't
so,
even shown this at all.
You haven't seen where we're camping
For 5 days.
for 5 days?
I haven't filmed a single thing about it, I don't think.
And you haven't seen any of it?
I haven't shown them a single clip. That's why I wanted them to see how big
Oh.
our site is.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
giant. And my hammock.
We're doing them a disjustice.
A disjustice.
A disjustice.
He's been educated.
We're doing them an injustice by not showing them this campsite. Shannon, take it away.
Okay. Okay. We're here at Historic Blakeley State Park. And our site is huge. Look, it goes all the way out to there. And my hammock. It's so big. It's big enough for my hammock. I mean, it's like the size of our front yard. These state parks are legit. Let's go check on Stormy. She's pretty much just been living in the front window. Storm. The paparazzi's here to bug you. Aw, sleepy kitty. Stormy loves a window. All right, well, we are headed to see some museums here in Mobile.
All right, Toots.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Eek.
Told you.
Oh, Oh, this is older than the other one. It feels more narrow.
The old tunnel under the Mobile River, made for US 90 and then now US 98.
It's bumpier too than the highway tunnel.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when the tunnel starts collapsing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, but don't you worry, it rumbles out.
I can see daylight ahead. We made it! Out of the tunnel! Wow, we're in town now. Lovely.
So today we're visiting the History Museum of Mobile to get a better idea of what the history and background of the city is, as well as to explore Fort Conde, also called Fort Charlotte, which was the site of a Revolutionary War battle. Yeah,
Wild.
Mobile played a part in the American Revolution, and we'll tell you more about it as we get inside. It's actually a really interesting story that I learned about not too long ago. So let's go check out the museum.
I can't climb on it? Oh, this is cool. You want to
Look at
get
that.
a hero like your ancestor was buried in?
Yeah, I might.
He was buried in a hero?
Yeah, he was in the swamps. Fun. Just
Very
an interactive,
cool.
fun place here at the Mobile City Museum for kids upstairs. A lot of interactive stuff, which is right up Shannon's alley too. Hey, can't blame her. It's kind of fun to do stuff.
You go on a ship?
Wow. Oh, look at this.
This is cool. So the tunnel we just showed you that we went through, here's all about them drilling it. This is a really cool exhibit, multi-layered.
I love old maps.
This is a cool old map.
This is a sweet map.
It's of
my
like
goodness.
the whole town of Mobile when it was founded.
I love this.
And like cool detail too. Also the lions are cool. So this was the first submarine to sink a ship. It was a Confederate submarine. Can you imagine though? Hand crank inside that thing and you're just cranking. And then there's what it looked like in real life size. Miserable. You want to crawl in there, John?
Let's see. Let me think about it. No.
Fort count. It's time for a fort count. How many forts have we gotten to see on this trip?
One.
One. 3 at least that I can think of. Maybe it was 4. They all kind of run together in my mind. There's a lot to see here though. This is pretty cool.
This is Fort Conde. It's called Fort Louis at the beginning by the French, then Fort Conde by the Spanish, then Fort Charlotte by the British. And the Americans, well, I don't have no idea. So Shannon's not so much interested in the old forts. I am. I guess I like the old history behind forts, and especially forts that aren't just pickets, you know, not just wood and logs and earthworks, but I like solid forts, you know, ones made out of bricks and stone and concrete. So this one was a very cool one. Unfortunately, not much still exists of the old Fort Conde. But I'm fascinated by the clash of colonial powers. Here's the European countries. You have to travel so far to get to Europe. And yet, to get to Europe, most Americans just have to travel to the Gulf Coast or up to Boston and places like that. And you get glimpses of the European countries here in America. That's pretty cool. I like that. So not many people know, Shannon, that Mobile, Alabama played a part in the American Revolution. and yet not a single American soldier fought in this battle.
I had no idea until today.
Let me tell you the story.
Yeah, you will.
So the history goes like this. When, the American colonies of Great Britain declared war or rebellion against Great Britain, it started out kind of slow for them, but then they managed to pick up some international allies. France, of course, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. The French didn't like the English. The Spanish didn't like the English. So the French allied with the colonists. The Spanish allied with the colonists. At the time of the American Revolution, Spain was in control of Louisiana. They declared war on England. The British at the time had control of western Florida, which is Pensacola and Mobile, and that point east. So the governor, his name was Galvez, and he was a real energetic, real man of action. So he was the governor of Louisiana, and from New Orleans he assembled a small military crew to try to attack Mobile. And because Mobile was in British hands, and of course, they're allying with the Americans against the British. So he kept petitioning the Spanish crown to send him more troops to be able to attack Mobile, to take this fort particularly. Turns out that those troops never came, but he did it anyway. And he went ahead and captured Mobile, partially destroyed this fort. Mobile fell into Spanish hands, and then he attacked Pensacola afterwards, and it also fell into Spanish hands. And so here was a battle of the American Revolution fought by two colonial powers, neither of which was the United States of America.
Fascinating. He gets so excited about forts. Isn't he cute? I'm doing a video now. Oh, it's forts. So many forts.
So many forts. I mean, there's not enough. There's gotta be more.
I'm sure there's more forts for us to see on this trip.
Let's go find some more forts. Okay, Shannon said she needed a beach
I
day,
need a beach day.
and here we go. with
Tomorrow
all
will be
of
the
our
whole day of beach.
I know, all of our stuff.
After a few clients.
So here we are, promised a beach day to Shannon here. Well, she said she wanted a beach day. So Fort Pickens is at the very end of Santa Rosa Island, which is where Pensacola Beach is located. The very western tip, and it's surrounded on both sides by water and beaches.
This is perfect.